Joining us now on the Michigan Megacast is one of many artists that you'll find at the upcoming Berkeley Street Art Fest on July 16th. It's just a couple days away. Daniel Cascardo is a visual artist and joins us now on the Michigan Megacast. Daniel, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Tyler.
Appreciate having you on. So you are a visual artist. It's kind of a broad term. Can you explain what kind of art that you produce?
Well, I make art that engages your imagination, whether it's black and white or color or mixed media or interactive murals. It's there. I do it to inspire creativity and transform your environment with like a healing, joyful beauty and meaning through the creation of my art.
So when did you get started in creating this form of art? What got you into it? What sparks your interest for visual arts?
Well, I've been practicing artist for over 30 years, and it was an innate thing for me as a child. I always liked to draw and doodle and create things. So it just, through the years, I've expanded on my creative voice. And over the last 20 years or so, I've been doing these interactive murals, which has helped engage my audience in my art making process. And I call it the art action experience.
And so can you elaborate more on the art action experience and what you put in to create that experience in each of your pieces for
Sure.
a variety of different visions and a variety of different levels of creativity?
Sure. Well, basically it starts off with working with a group, whether it's a few people to 1,000 people. I worked at Art Prize the last few years, and literally 1,000 people have contributed to the pieces that I have created. So I create a black and white line painting with a variety of themes. Sometimes it's environment, sometimes it's diversity or peace, or whatever the organization I'm working with is promoting. It could be a nonprofit. I've worked with cancer, lupus, and survivors of suicide, many different organizations. So I create a black and white line painting, and once that is created, I invite people to add colors, patterns, and shapes to my design, so they become part of the process, my art making process.
And so at the Berkeley Street Art Fest, which is coming up on July 16th, you're also bringing the art action experience to this particular festival. What can Berkeley Street Art Fest goers expect to experience in this particular engagement at their upcoming show?
Okay, well, yeah, with me, they're going to have a brand new piece of artwork, black and white artwork, that they're going to be invited to add colors, patterns, and shapes to the design. They'll also see some of the finished pieces that I've done to see what they turn out after finish. I do edit them at my studio, which means basically tightening them up, going over the black line again, adding some shading and color, or wherever, just making it more coherent, and the result is like a professional piece of artwork that's ready to be hung.
We're joined by Daniel Cascardo. He is an artist that you will find at this year's Berkeley Street Art Fest, July 16th in Berkeley. And you can find more information on everything happening at the Berkeley Street Art Fest at berkeleystreetartfest.com, berkeleystreetartfest.com. Festival hours 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. And that includes the Artist Awards at 4:45 p.m. Again, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. July 16th in Berkeley is the Berkeley Street Art Fest, presented by MSU Federal Credit Union and brought to you by the Berkeley Area Chamber of Commerce. Daniel Cascardo, a visual artist who will be participating in this year's Berkeley Street Art Fest, joins us on the Michigan Megacast. So as you're creating these pieces, you're trying, as you said earlier, to elicit a creative response from the audience, from whoever is consuming your work, is viewing your painting. So as you're approaching creating a piece, knowing that there are so many different forms of creativity, everybody has a different eye, they have different vision, they're going to see things differently than somebody else. How do you keep that in mind, or how do you approach your art and creating something that's creative and a little bit abstract, while also trying to get different reactions out of so many people?
The whole process is kind of a leap of faith. I don't know any other artists that allow people to touch their work. And I came about doing this by working with kids with disabilities and kids and adults. And most of the time they're challenged to just do one individual piece, and they're never working together as a group. So by simply creating a line drawing and allowing people in groups to add on to it, they feel more engaged and part of the process. And so I find that it doesn't matter of their background, their ability, and how old they are or whatever. It works, and I'm there to direct them, kind of like a conductor in an orchestra, so that it doesn't become black or brown, muddy. But I do inspire them to add whatever they feel. I don't want them to put any words in the piece, because then it becomes like very everybody's names on the piece, and they all want to put their names on. But I do say the sun doesn't have to be yellow. You can make it whatever you want, purple, polka dotted, and so they find an area, they choose a color that they like, and I tell them to get rid of all the white. So the simple ones just fill in the color, and people that have a little bit more creativity and ambition, they'll add some design to the area. So in the piece behind me, you can see there's patterns and shapes and different colors going on. So it's amazing how working with a group, they kind of work together. There's no inhibition, and it's got a deeper level than just a piece of artwork. So I've worked with people from all walks of life and abilities, and to see them work side by side, it's pretty awesome. And especially nowadays with all the controversies and everything, unity is a great thing. So this is a great way to bridge that gap.
What sort of satisfaction do you get, Daniel, out of that interactive experience? Because not only are these art lovers and these art show goers able to interact with your art and put their own creative stamp on it and work with you in collaboration, but you also get to interact with them and experience firsthand their creative process in interacting with your art. That has to be a special experience for someone who's an artist like yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I get so much from the engagement with the people, from the little kids who are just so spontaneous and creative, and then the adults, mostly the guys that say that I can't even draw a stick figure, and I say, well, can you sign your name? Can you fill in a circle with color? And once they get in it, and they do it, I can't pull them away. They find it very therapeutic. And just like a giant coloring book, and I tell them that I do have final edits, so don't be worried if there's something that's not working. But it's great to hear the response, and a lot of adults say, oh, they haven't picked up a paintbrush in so many years, and the kids just love having the opportunity to participate in something like this together with other people, because they can do their own individual piece, but to do this, it's kind of a special thing for them and for me to see them do it.
The Berkeley Street Art Fest is July 16th. It's coming up just a few days from now, from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. Those are the festival hours for those that are going to be participating. And just for reference, as you go into Berkeley for this festival, Coolidge is going to be closed between Catalpa and Beverly for the entirety of this time, including the setup time for artists, which begins at 8 o'clock with the artist check-in. So 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., Berkeley Street Art Fest happening July 16th, presented by MSU Federal Credit Union and the Berkeley Area Chamber of Commerce. More information on all the vendors, all the murals, all the different experiences at this year's Berkeley Street Art Fest can be found on berkeleystreetartfest.com. We're joined by Daniel Cascardo, a visual artist that will be participating in this year's Berkeley Street Art Fest on the Michigan Megacast. And that kind of makes the experience that you have with these art goers, with these people that are interacting with your art and that you're working with in collaboration, making these pieces, it makes each one of them not only have their own variety of creative stamps and their overall meaning from so many different people, but it also adds the element of uniqueness and kind of stamps those relationships that you form at these art shows and at these art experiences. For you as an artist too, knowing from my conversations with other artists for other art shows across the state that interaction is so important. How great of an experience is it for you as an artist to have those cemented memories of the interactions you've had with people that enjoy your art and enjoy participating with your art?
It's very satisfying to have those interactions, and even though sometimes the people don't remember what they did, or they say what happened to the piece that they, the color that they put in, the essence of their involvement is still there. The energy that they put into it is still there, and the stories that I get from the people are amazing, and even to the point where they find a healing aspect. And I worked in the hospitals, and they find the therapy that comes from it, and I can see them enjoying it so much. And it's a simple act that they're just coloring, they're just filling in. But I think being around the other people and having the opportunity to express themselves that way has been very fulfilling to them and to me. And some of the stories that I worked with a group of college students, and they didn't want to leave. They didn't want to go back to class, and it was kind of at the beginning of my practice of doing interactive work. And I was telling my wife that, I can't do this. It's so much energy, and, the pay is not there as an artist, it's just very difficult. And a week or so later, I got a package in the mail, and there was close to 100 letters from these college students, unsolicited, telling how much they loved the experience, and I wish they was there. They can do that all the time. And so that gave me a lot of joy to see that how much it affected those kids.
We're joined by Daniel Cascardo. He is a visual artist that will be participating in this year's Berkeley Street Art Fest, July 16th. In Berkeley, 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. Join them for chalk art, shop for the good vendor fare, as well as food and family fun, 11 to 5 in Berkeley. More information on the Street Art Fest's website at berkeleystreetartfest.com. That is berkeleystreetartfest.com for more information on everything happening at the Berkeley Street Art Fest, including Daniel's Art Action Experience. Daniel, just another couple minutes with you before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else as people prepare to go to the Berkeley Street Art Fest and maybe participate in your interactive art experience that they should know before going or be considering as they approach that art action experience?
Sure. Come prepared to have fun. It's not just me at the fair. There's going to be other artists, and there's going to be a chalk drawing contest, and Michigan artist David Zinn will be there creating a piece. So come with an open mind and an open heart, and have fun.
Well, Daniel, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us and previewing your appearance at the Berkeley Street Art Fest, and we'll look forward to seeing you there this weekend.
Thank you.